now, why would I run into the basement? That's the...
Oh. Oh, no.
Dress for people look...
No, I think that's just my washing machine. Let's go to the next slide. It's all good, guys. There's just some construction across the street. Whoa, I think that's just Beyonce's tour announcement. Okay.
New York, let's talk. Let's talk. Let's talk. See, I always wanted to live in California, but I always told myself there's just two things that I can't deal with in life, and that are wildfires and earthquakes. New York, I'm going to need you to act your coast. All right? Like, I need you to act your coast. This is not conducive of the things that we do around here. These buildings are entirely too tall to be shaken. This is not where it's at. This is not lit. Let's really, really talk about this.
The 5 stages of having an earthquake in New York City. First, you think it's a truck. Then you realize it's not a truck. You think you're under attack. You run to the window. You don't think you're under attack. You don't see anything. And then you're like, oh my God, is this an earthquake? We don't have earthquakes in New York. As you hold up bookcases and furniture and pictures because nothing's really bolted to the wall well. And then you're worried your building's gonna fall down on you because you live in a 100-plus-year-old building that your landlord sure as hell doesn't take care of. And then you run online to make sure that everybody's talking about it and it actually happened and you're not just losing it because the city makes you lose it.
Earthquake in New York now.
In New York, like 5 seconds ago, an earthquake! Ah! Oh my God, there was an earthquake in New York. The house started shaking. Like everything started shaking. Oh my God! I was like, what the hell?
What is happening? First, the phone outages. Now here, pharmacies are getting hacked. Health insurance companies. All these vans are loaded with police and unmarked cars. What is happening? This is in New York.
Like, what should I do? Where should I go? Guys, did you guys heard about it? What's today's Friday? What time is it? It's like 10:34 in New York right now. We just experienced an earthquake.
I gotta call up my ex-girlfriend.
Can I go in here at the bottom?
Oh my God, I almost died. No. I almost died. That was so scary. Thank you.
It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. So New York City just had an earthquake and everybody's okay from what I know. But my mother was extremely shaken up and called me in such a panic that I almost fainted, and I'm still shaken up from the call. And I'm just realizing that my mother is the worst person to get news from. When I was in 4th grade, the Twin Towers were shot down, and when she came to pick me up from school, she's like, oh my God, be careful where you step. A bomb could just come out of the floor. I'm in 4th grade. I was like, what is going on? She's like, they're bombing us. Like, what? And then she calls me today like, did your kid's school call you? I'm thinking something happened to one of my children. She is an emergency contact, and it's that she felt a shake. Like, girl, that is not someone you go to in crisis situation. Like, whew, mama, it's okay.
I was just about to go outside and I felt the earthquake in New York. I'm shook.
Guys, check it out. Turn on the news. Turn on the news right now. There's an earthquake right now in New York.
I keep on chasing the highs. I know I can never get back, so I'm always on low. Then I got eyes on the back of my head. I got
why in the world, out of all my years, this is like the second time in like a 10-year span, maybe even less than that, New York has experienced the earthquake. This is some things that just didn't happen when I was a kid. Now all of a sudden, these things are starting to feel like this is like conducive of us, and I don't feel like this is a good look for us at all. Like, I don't feel like this is the direction we need to be moving in as a state. New
York City just felt the shakes of an earthquake after a 4.8 struck in New Jersey. Guys, I have a nervous laugh, okay? I mean, my whole house shook. I didn't know what the hell was going on. But then I made the biggest mistake of turning on the news. And they cut to a guy in New Jersey and they're interviewing him. And then they pan the camera over and show his little outdoor fern plant that toppled over. And I just feel like with everything and the devastation that happened in Taiwan with their earthquake, that they're being a little dramatic here. I mean, I know 4.8 isn't small, but it's not like big either.
Do that, and it'll, what did I say? It'll help rebuild, and I think this one suits also.
Hold on.
Is there an earthquake happening?
I don't know. Hold on. Wait, are you shaking too?
Yeah.
Me too. Was that an earthquake?
I'm still shaking a little.
Yeah, same. What?
Crazy.
And now that's all the news is running with, right? They're having people call in saying like where they were, what happened. But this is the crazy part, right? I don't get that emergency alert or whatever gets sent to your iPhone until a half hour later, like warning, earthquake.
What's happening? Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
You're late. You're late. I don't know. That was wild. Now I hear helicopters and sirens. I don't know. I know.
Oh my gosh, was that an earthquake? That was an earthquake. Y'all can't tell me that was an earthquake. And wow, oh my gosh. I thought New York don't get earthquakes. Don't call me dumb now. Oh my gosh, that was an earthquake. That was an earthquake. Y'all felt that? Oh, I'm being delusional. I might be delusional. And I still gotta go to work. Oh my gosh. And why would I run into the basement? That's the... You idiot! Yo, that was an earthquake. Did anybody else feel that, or was it just me? Yes, I'm gonna keep saying it because what?
No, I'm laughing, but I'm low-key freaking out right now. If any one of my followers know anything about science, does this have anything to do with the eclipse? Okay, bye.
Ground doesn't move like that over here, okay?
Look, I'm going to need you to do better, because right now, it's either the hurricanes in Miami or the tornadoes in Texas for me. That's like, I'm going to take my chances with the either or. And while I say that out loud, you know, I swim well. Hurricanes are starting to win. New York, I'm going to need you to get this together. And the more I heard about it, it hit Lynbrook, New Jersey. So leave it to New Jersey to hit us with some shit that we got to deal with over here in New York. That's very New Jersey of you, New Jersey. I'm going to need you to do better. The DJ absolutely does not approve.
Hey, TikTok, Mad Daddy here. I'm in New York State, and we just felt an earthquake. I've been in my truck, and also the truck just started shaking. I hope everybody's okay. And like I said, this is the first time I actually felt an earthquake. That shit was kind of scary.
I'm going to try my new...
What the fuck was that? My whole house just shook. Did we just have a fucking earthquake? I got this on video. Holy crap. I think we just had a freaking earthquake.
Today. Oh my God, what is that? Oh my God. What is?
Holy shit. Who else is in New York who felt the earthquake? Hit me up in the comments. I know I'm not feeling nothing. I called like 5 people in different locations, one in the city, and everybody's felt the same thing that I felt at the same exact time. Let me know, guys, if you felt this earthquake that just happened in New York.
There was just an earthquake in New York City / New Jersey. This is crazy. As a Californian, I've not felt this in a very long time. Anyone else in New York City just feel this? Like, am I freaking out? There was definitely an earthquake just now.
If you're in New York City, please let me know if you also felt that baby earthquake. At 10:15 a.m., New York City just had a earthquake. Only not saying earthquake, I'm gonna call it a tremor because it didn't give what it normally. You know, we don't get earthquakes. So the
Yo, we just had an earthquake in New York. That was scary, yo. I'm still shaking up, bro. That was like my whole building was shaking, man. Holy, this is crazy, man. I'm telling you, this is crazy.
Is this an earthquake? Yo, is this an earthquake? Yo, what the fuck? Yo, am I in an earthquake? Yo, my house is shaking.
Who's that?
But yes, there was a baby earthquake at 10:15 a.m. and I was in the bathroom doing the business, and as I'm on the toilet, I'm realizing and I'm hearing some shaking, and then I realize that I am also shaking, and then I realize that my floor is kind of moving, and then I hear my mirror start to kind of like click, 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 click. I hear my shelves, and I'm just like, what is going on? And then I realized it registered. I'm like, oh, you got to stand in the freaking door frame. Because I heard that on, what would you do? You stand on the door frame when there's a fucking earthquake, I think. I don't know.
When earthquakes happen on the eastern side of the United States, they can be felt over a much larger area and cause damage over that area more easily because of the composition of the Earth's crust. In this area, it's much more dense, much older, and carries the energy of earthquakes much more efficiently. If we look at the earthquake that happened today, it was a magnitude of 4.8 and its epicenter was located around Lebanon, New Jersey. And if you look at the shake map reported by the United States Geologic Survey, just a few moments after the earthquake took place, you see a few reports, and just in a few minutes, that expanded over an area that contains tens of millions of people across hundreds of miles. Compare that to a place like California, where you might see an earthquake of this type of magnitude be felt in a more isolated region. Now, if you live in the New York City area, you received an emergency alert a few minutes after the earthquake took place, letting you know that an earthquake had took place. This is important to let people know what actually happened so they're not asking questions, but also, New York is particularly susceptible to earthquakes even of this magnitude because of its concentration of old buildings built with unreinforced masonry, like brick. During the 2011 earthquake that had its epicenter in Virginia, unreinforced masonry structures were damaged all the way in Red Hook, Brooklyn, hundreds of miles away. And then
you think that it's a coincidence that New York City and the East Coast of the United States of America was rocked by a 4.8 earthquake? And this happens right before the total solar eclipse, which takes place on April 8th. In other words, 4/8. So really think about this. We get shook by a 4.8 earthquake right before there's a total solar eclipse on 4/8. Not to mention, this total solar eclipse happens in the 7th year from the other one that took place in 2017. We warned in 2017 that something major was going to happen. Also warned of pestilences coming, biosuits, quarantine, and different things like that. You can see here, and I saw Indiana because I live in Northwest Indiana. Well, it's here from 2017 and 2018. People didn't want to listen, and what ended up happening, you saw what took place in 2020. So we've been warning again. Why? Because this completes an X upon the United States in the 7th year, and 7 is the number of completion. In the Bible, 7 years is completion for a time. 7 years of famine, 7 years of prosperity, 7 years to burn weapons, 7 years of Nebuchadnezzar, 7 years of tribulation. Is America nearing her completion? A day or two before the earthquake, this took place. The Holy Spirit noted in 2021, when that happens, it will be a sign of his wrath and awakening.
And then you have to consider that New York City didn't have seismic considerations in its building code until the mid-1990s. So some structures that appear to be more modern still have to be inspected after earthquakes, which is why you've seen ground stops at all the major airports, likely because they had to evacuate the air traffic control tower and make sure there was no damage. Which is also not helped by the fact that airports like JFK are built on the most seismically susceptible soil in the entirety of New York City. But for similar reasons, that's why you've seen delays across the New Jersey transit system for inspections, and you've also seen some evacuations and closures of school systems like the County College of Morris in New Jersey. And if you're wondering when an earthquake of this magnitude last had its epicenter within the 5 boroughs of New York City, that would be 1884, when an earthquake around a magnitude of 5 caused intense shaking across New York City and did generate some damage.
Oh yes, lightning strikes the Statue of Liberty, but just like the birth pains, it's timing. It happens in link with the earthquake and the eclipse, both numbers being 4/8. 4 in the Bible being linked to the heavens, and number 8 to new beginnings. Follow for more.
She said she felt it too. She's like, yeah, I felt that. My other friend calls, did you feel that? Yes, I felt that. On top of that, after the little tremor happened, the phone lines went down and no phone calls were going out. So right now, I don't know what the fuck is going on with New York. We had like really heavy rain for the past couple of days and it's been cloudy with a chance of meatballs. But now we're like moving mountains. I don't fucking know. That was scary. That was scary. I've never, what?
Oh, you are not crazy. I am in Philadelphia and I felt this earthquake. But this is what the earthquake really means. People in Boston, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania all felt this. This is where it gets scary. This is the first earthquake that has hit New York in over 350 years. And this is happening just before the solar eclipse on April 8th. And for those scumbags who don't live on the East Coast, this happened less than an hour ago. All over the tri-state area. But this is what's mostly important. Today, April 5th, we have an earthquake. On April 8th, we have a total solar eclipse that's going to be passing through New Jersey and Pennsylvania. And remember that Mercury is also in Gatorade right now. And all over the United States, there's going to be almost 1 trillion cicadas that get released from the ground. Cicadas that look like this and this. And yes, even longer than my Johnson. On top of potentially even a tsunami hitting New York today. Because we all know earthquakes lead to tsunamis. And the worst of it all is that pizza is no longer $1 in New York.
I thought it was a truck driving by. Because, you know, like when you live in New York, like sometimes somebody's bass is loud enough it could rock your goddamn shelves. Sometimes a heavy truck passing your building, it leaves vibrations. But then when I realized that I heard all those extra sounds, I was like, earthquake. Baby earthquake. Earth tremor, tectonic plate shifting. I don't fucking know.
Alright. You know what? Okay, I'm done. I am actually done here. You know what? I'm done, okay? I pay $3,000 a month to live in a closet. I spend $24 for a cocktail that tastes like garbage. Oh, and it just smells like garbage all the time. I live in the streets with the rats every single day I have to walk past. I had a homeless man jerking it on the train next to me at 8:30 in the morning next to a mariachi band. I have to worry about getting thrown on the tracks. There's women just getting punched in the street. This is not a New York problem. We have enough problems. LA, you guys can take this, okay? I don't pay all this money and put up with all this bull for the earth to have a little seizure on a Friday afternoon, okay? You guys, that's you. That's a you problem. Take that back, all right? We got enough to deal with over here. If I wanted to deal with earthquakes, I'd live in Japan. At least the people are nice.
It was fucking scary. This is not something that happens. I just want to let you know you're not the only one that experienced it. That shit was fucking scary. I hope it doesn't happen again. Okay, I really hope it doesn't happen again because that was wild. That was wild.
Are we okay?